will. Dum 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 dum. I don't want to do this. Mr. Scrumptious by Annie Bongo 327. Original concept, blah 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 blah. This is the story of Mr. Scrumptious. He lived in a humongous pile of fruit on the same road as Messrs. Chocolate's awkward, unique and one of a kind. Yes, they were very good friends indeed. Some of them were acting a little bit crazy, while some were just alright. Now this story is about the time when the 5 Mr. Men, aka the Hungry 5, had their lunch. It was usually a very great time of day. The Hungry 5 sat down to eat their lunch, which included a whole pile of fruit and veg. But suddenly, something very unexpected happened. Though nothing to do with Mr. Surprise, Mr. Greedy suddenly popped out of nowhere. He was planning to steal the lunch. Nice. Suddenly, he ingested the whole lunch. The members of the Hungry 5 were absolutely fuming. This was something they had never thought of. I was quite looking forward to our lunch. Mr. Greedy looked a little bit sad and said, and I was quite looking forward to eating your lunch. It was quite a horrendous day. I'm hungry. The Hungry 5 realised that Mr. Greedy had eaten everything. They were very disappointed and a trifle angry too. Mr. Chocolate said, You know, I've always had a problem with Mr. Greedy. It wasn't just my lunch he wanted to eat. It was me too. Mr. Chocolate, that can't be true. How very naughty to try to eat you, squeaked Mr. Unique. I'd only eat chocolate covered in custard. Definitely never with teaspoons of mustard. Mr. Scrumptious then said sadly, He always wants to eat my hat too. I've tried to get 22 new hats in the last 6 months. It costs me a fortune. Or I suppose you could get a different type of hat, suggested Mr. Awkward. One that didn't look quite so scrumptious. Yes, what about a bowler or a top hat? He'd surely never want to eat that, suggested Mr. One-of-a-Kind helpfully. No, cried Mr. Scrumptious. My hats are too scrumptious to change. We'll just have to think of something else. But I like my hat. But he remembered what Mr. Unique had said about never eating chocolate with mustard. That gives me an excellent idea, said Mr. Scrumptious. We can try to put mustard on all of the food, so when Mr. Greedy comes and eats it, he'll think it won't be scrumptious. R-O-F-L. That's a really good idea, surely the very best one to hear. Would a custard not mustard be a better idea? No way I'd eat mustard, not now or next year. The Hungry 5 started to prepare their plan. But Mr. Greedy didn't come and the Hungry 5 was still standing flabbergastedly. It took a very long time to get all that food piled up and covered in mustard. Where could Mr. Greedy be? Mr. Scrumptious thought it might be an idea to go to Mr. Greedy's house to see if they could find out what was going on. So he went there while the other members of the Hungry 5 looked after the pile of fruit and veg. He was very surprised to find Mr. Greedy in bed, looking very poorly. Dr. Bakewell was there. He said, I'm very sorry to tell you, Mr. Greedy, but it appears you may be allergic to fruit and veg. Both Mr. Scrumptious and Mr. Greedy were flabbergasted. Allergic to fruit and veg? Mr. Scrumptious hurried back to his hungry four friends. "Oh dear!" he cried. "What a calamity! What has happened to our dear friend? You look like the world is going to end," squeaked Mr. Unique. "Mr. Scrumptious, you look sad. What has happened? Is it bad?" "Mr. Greedy is allergic to fruit and veg. Mr. Greedy can eat that pile," cried Mr. Scrumptious. "What on earth are we going to do with that pile of mustard covered fruit and veg?" Well, one member of the Hungry Five didn't look at all worried about that calamity. Mr. One-of-a-Kind laughed out loud. "No need to fret about what to do. I'll eat it all. The mustard too. Aren't I lucky Mr. Greedy feels yucky?" The Hungry Four watched as their friend Mr. One-of-a-Kind ate the whole pile of mustard covered fruit and veg. He looked very pleased with himself. The Hungry Five jumped for joy. Mr. Scrumptious then said, "Well, that doesn't solve the problem of Mr. Greedy eating our lunch, does it?" "Oh, no, it doesn't," sighed Mr. Awkward. "It's just made everything very awkward indeed." Then Mr. Unique cried out squeakily, "Don't you see what this does mean? We'll always have plenty if Mr. Greedy's not keen. Just make sure there's fruit galore and lots of veg. Who could want more? Yes, there must be heaps of custard and maybe just a hint of mustard." Then Mr. Scrumptious said sadly, "Well, what do I do about Mr. Greedy eating my hat? That's a scrumptious hat made out of fruit and veg." "Or," cried Mr. Chocolate and Mr. Awkward both at the same time. "What a great idea!" laughed Mr. Scrumptious. "That'll keep myself not sorry. Why, I look silly in this hat." And now, as they know he won't eat everything, they invited Mr. Greedy to become a member of the Hungry Five. I mean, 6. But they still got cross because he ate all the things that didn't contain fruit or veg. Anyway, after the credits, there's a message in this. Okay, so on this page, when Mr. Unique said, "I'd only eat chocolate covered in custard, definitely never with teaspoons of mustard," that was originally in a thought bubble, but Mr. Scrumptious got his idea from that line, so we decided to change into a speech bubble. And on there was a new page, and there was a new page after that, and before that there was no line above. So that gives me an excellent idea, because there was originally no scene about Mr. Scrumptious's hat on there. And also, on this page, when they say that, I think it should be remove the cake, but keep the cherry. Bye!